see how things go here. Well, we got a different one for you. Sorry for the wind, but we got a little recovery mission. We're doing a little recon in the 392 Gladiator. Behind me, there's a Peterbilt on a road that some pickups, I might not be comfortable driving on this thing. And how a driver ends up on here is beyond me. We've got Snake River right there. We're below a dam called Lower Monumental Dam. So those of you in Eastern Washington know the area I'm talking about. So we had a driver trying to deliver product to a very long-term customer of ours, but he had never been this farm before. The steer tire is holding this thing up, in my opinion. And yes, there is a good 2 inches under this front steer tire. There is daylight under there. That is sketch. Man, I'm glad our driver is okay. We are hanging up on the different front differential here is kind of hanging. This has 4,000 gallons of product in it, kids. This is not ideal. So yeah, I mean, this kind of puts it in perspective. We'll see how things go here. Dozer going up to the scene, and now we got there's shorter Kenworth going up there. It can get turned around, and there's a pad they can turn around up there and then back up to our truck. And then they're gonna send the big boy up to the back end of it a little later. We got an excavator coming, and we have fire department coming to make sure we don't start anything gnarly, because it is super dry out here. It's been in the hundreds for a few days. So when you're planning a recovery like this, there's a whole lot that goes on behind the scenes. You don't just really show up with a tow truck and start pulling. You really have to have, like in this case, we got an environmental company on standby here, ready for, we're calling it Plan C, but let's hope we don't need Plan C. And that's if the truck ends up going down into the bottom of this, which none of us want that, but yeah. So we got an environmental company on standby. We got Kyle's Towing and Recovery here. These guys are obviously well versed with the topography. This is the Palouse region, very sandy soil where we're at, because we're right on the breaks of the Snake River, and so they understand how steep things get, and so that's why we got the multiple trucks and the dozer. So we'll know soon if it's all gonna be enough. So this dozer's got a winch, so the plan is to have it above. After we get the road improvements done that we need done, we're actually going to build a little bit of a pad a little up here so we can get it onto a strong spot, so we can utilize this winch, actually pull our truck more level and scoot it on. But it's going to be a few hours before we get to that point, and we'll try to film as much as we can, because this just, luckily this doesn't happen too often, and I'm just thankful that our driver didn't end up in the bottom of this ravine with these rocks. But yeah, thankful our driver was able to keep it from turning over, and he's fine. He's just obviously kind of freaked out from this incident. As we do this recovery, we're just trying to keep everybody's safety in mind, keep the safety of the environment in mind, especially with the cargo that's on this truck, because we got 4,000 gallons of product on this thing, both diesel and gas, and it's almost full. Yeah, so stay tuned. All right, to kind of give you a little bit of perspective on what we got going. We need a pad built, so that's what Kyle's doing. He's up there building a pad. We got this wrecker, which is actually the smaller of the two, and it is going to be connected to our truck. I think it's already connected. It is connected to our truck. So they've got winch line, snatch block to our truck. So he's got his outriggers in the ground with spades. So we're gonna pull forward with this truck, and then we're gonna connect our truck to the cable winch that's on the back of the dozer up there. He's gonna dig that dozer in so it's anchored good, so he can effectively lift the truck. We're also gonna have another tow truck back there, and it's actually on its way. It's gonna be here in a little bit, and then it's go time. So I've been going back to cell phone service a few miles away to kind of give the team back in town the lowdown of what's happening, and because we should be, by the time I get back to the site, which I'm probably less than a quarter mile from the site currently. I'm driving up this really tight road, which we have to bring all the equipment back down this, including our truck that's loaded down this road that's pretty narrow. I'll swing this around really quick. So that's my vantage point. I don't know if you can see it, but way down there is a barge coming up the river. My guess is it's an empty bunch of grain barges to come up and load the grain, because we're right in the midst of probably closer to the tailer end of the wheat harvest up here. Anyway, our driver was actually delivering to one of our long-term customers up here. They've got orchards right on pretty much the shores of the Snake River, and they needed fuel. So we were delivering fuel to them, and it was a new driver that chose to use Google Maps to route him out here, and unfortunately Google Maps routed him up this sketchy road, which is no good. So anyway, well, I've got to back up this next section, so I'm turned around the right way. So I'm gonna leave you be, but I'll be back, I promise.
I don't know if he's gonna make that corner though. I mean,
I'm currently in the shade under this beautiful truck with that excavator that just made this pad right there a little better for the truck that will be connected to the rear. We kind of have a path dug out for those wheels to go. We have this big strap around the tank connected to the cable that's connected up there to that D6. So that D6 is going to be taking a lot of weight, and we're going to be in constant communication on this deal. Way up there we got the big heavy wrecker coming back. Says a lot to bring that thing up here. It probably weighs pretty close to what our truck weighs right now, and I think he's longer. So anyway, things are about to get real here real quick. Daylight under the front tire, and our toolbox kind of holding it a little bit, but now I can see the toolbox brackets under here are bent and the toolbox has separated from it, so chances are that box is not coming up with it. So anyway, yeah, well, here we go. Alright, it's go time. So we think I'm gonna have to be really far back, so I'm not sure what footage I'm gonna get. And as you can probably tell by the audio, it's pretty windy up here, so I'm not gonna be able to run the drone, unfortunately. So this is a really good moment for us. As you can see behind me, the truck is now on the road, and now we have to drive it down the sketchy road to get it off. But the cool thing about this is no fuel was lost, no lives were lost, nobody was hurt. There's a whole lot of positives. There's a whole lot of negatives because this was a super expensive day for me. as far as having multiple tow trucks, the environmental team here, Mini X's, and all that. We're currently testing the systems on our truck to make sure it can drive down on its own, which we think it can. So we'll see. All right, well, we made it down to the orchard with the truck. We're gonna nurse it back to town. All right, so driving out, I'm actually heading home for kind of a celebration of getting our truck back down to the orchard, and Randy thinks it's drivable. He thinks he can drive it back to town, back to the yard, which is fantastic. I'm amazed. Does not look like too much damage on our truck, but Kyle's Towing, very impressed with their team. Super great to work with, great with communication. Patriot environmental, same thing, great to work with, and glad we had them there to just communicate the actual pull back on the road. Coordinating 3 trucks that are, well, 2 trucks and a dozer that are not right within earshot, so we're doing it with radios. We're all connected so we can communicate, and just take it slow and easy so we're not getting ourselves in a jam. Just wanted to say something though about how our driver ended up in there. The driver had never been to this location before. Fairly new with our company, but he's a very seasoned driver, so it wasn't like some rookie, but he was relying on Google Maps, which is not ideal when you're in a heavy truck like this. And if you look on the satellite images from Google, that road does appear to be a whole lot better than it is, and so I'm just thankful the driver is alive, safe, healthy. I mean, he didn't get hurt, obviously. Probably hurt his pride more than anything. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you.